Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Scarlett with Scarlett's Little Crafty Corner, and I am going to do a WIP and chat today. I am right now almost done actually, but I am working on this little canvas. It's a 30 by 30 that I have. It was from Amazon, and it's got words and stuff on it. I've got one more I'm going to do after this, and then I'll be done with this little 3-pack that I have. But so far, it's not been a bad canvas. Like I said, I'm almost done with it. All I have is this little square right here left. I started working on this, gosh, I don't know, 2 days ago. I think this is my 3rd day. And I don't really know how long it takes me as far as minutes and hours, because I never remember to time myself. And I think if I were to time myself, then I would start, like, oh my God, I gotta hurry up, So I have no idea how long it takes me, other than, saying it takes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. And I don't work on them constant, but it does seem like I am on them. I'm always diamond painting. But like I said in, well, brain fog. Anyway, don't know what I was just getting ready to say. But anyway, I have this little section here left, and I started working on this last night, and it just got so late, and I was so tired, and my back was killing me from sitting in this creaky, cranky, crappy chair of mine. But this is all I have left, and then I have, like I said, one more that I've got to kit up and work on, but right now I'm letting the canvas flatten out. I do work in, I have these little release papers, and they are this big. I don't know, what, 3 by 5s or something. Anyway, that's the section, that's how big of a section I work on. And it doesn't matter how big my canvas is, that's how big the section is that I work. And I find it a lot easier doing it that way, because I don't get overwhelmed by seeing the whole thing. And like I said, if I'm over here working and I see something over there, I'll start placing over there, and before you know it, I've got stuff everywhere. So I just do these little sections at a time, and it seems like that's what works for me. So anyway, I am working on my 3s. That's all I have left of these. I got real close to running out on one color, and I was kind of freaking out, but luckily I'm already done that color and put it over to the side. So, alright, let me see. And if I don't need that many in a section, I don't, well, especially if there's only like that many left in my little container, I don't even put it in a tray, because it's just one less step that I have to do, which is something that I learned through my retail. You don't want to double touch nothing. So, speaking of retail, in my other WIP and chat, I had started talking about, my job at Dollar Tree while I was there. And after I finished that WIP and chat, and I was, going back, because I always go back and rewatch what I've done. That way, I can see what mistakes I've made and everything, which I make so many of them, but I hate editing. So if you see a mistake in it, that's because I just didn't care. This is who I am, and there's no sense in trying to fix it. I'm not perfect, and I just hate the whole editing process. So pretty much what y'all see is what you get. But anyway, there were so many things in that other WIP and chat when I was talking about retail in my time at Dollar Tree that I was like, man, I wish I had said this, and man, I wish I had said that. I wish I'd told them this. So that is why I have on the other one, episode 1, because I thought, well, I'm going to do another WIP and chat and try to tell them the funny things that happened, and, you know, some of the crazy stuff that I seen, and some of the great stuff that I seen, some of my customers that were just totally awesome, my employees, some of the crazy crap. Wow. So that's why I put episode 1, because I thought, well, I'm going to do another one and just, tell them some of the stuff that I forgot. So I sat down for a few minutes and I made a list of some of the stuff that I wanted to talk about. Now, I may not get all of it in this WIP and chat, so I might make another one. I don't know. However long it takes, because, some people do the tag questions. I did do that, but them questions are so stupid. Not all of them, but a lot of them. They're just so stupid, or you get them that they're just so personal that, I don't know who all's watching these videos of mine. So there's stuff that you don't want some people knowing. But I thought, well, I'm going to talk about what I know. And then that way, A, I have something to talk about, and B, I'm a little bit more comfortable with talking. And plus I don't sound like a robot, going, here's the question, here's my answer, blah, blah, blah. So if you talk about stuff that you know about, or, you talk about your life or how you live, then it just seems more real to me, I guess. I don't know. So, like I said, I made a list. So, let's see what I wrote first. Okay. I have my little notebook over here on the side. Alright, so in my last WIP and chat, I was talking about, putting Christmas out in October, or actually they probably had it out probably last month, and then you will see, the next thing that'll come out will be, Valentine's Day. They'll start putting that out in December. And then Easter, everything, all the holidays, they have to put it out at a certain time. And like I said, I don't know about other retail places, but in the tree, that's what we called it in my store. And that's what I'm going to start calling it by, because like I said, there's so many rules and regulations about, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if I could even get in trouble for using the word of the company, but anyway, it's just so stupid. Some of the stuff is just so stupid. So anyway, the tree, we had a book, and every month they would send out these sign kits, and you would get a book, and that would tell you what you are doing for the month, and sometimes for 2 months. So it just depends on what time of the year it was. So in the book, it has your guidelines. That is, okay, on such and such day, you have between, you know, the 15th of the month through the 18th of the month. You've got 3 days to set this shelf for this particular season. Now, you've got your shelves and stuff, you know, your aisles that are set, like your food aisle, your chemical aisle, you know, all of that, they're set. But the whole front of the store is your seasonal section. So you have got just days, not weeks, but days to have these shelves set. And then you have to sign off on this mess. So it's like you are all the time, just balls to the wall, moving and grooving, because it's ungodly at some of the stuff that we get in on our trucks that have to go out within a certain amount of time. But you're also having to deal with customers. You're having to deal with trucks. You got to stop and go unload a truck, or you got to stop and help a customer, or you got to stop and go help the cashiers if they get backed up. So you are like, it's like crazy running. And it's so stressful. It is absolutely so stressful. And not every store's layout is the same. Not every store's space is the same. Not every store gets the same stuff or the same amount of stuff to put out. So everybody's different, and they really do not take that into consideration when they give you these, you know, timelines. And, you know, not only that, but, you know, if you've got employees that are quitting or calling out, or, you know, and you're having to practically run everything by yourself, they just don't take any of that into consideration. So I don't know. And like I said, it just takes that one customer when you're running around like a mad person trying to, you know, get all the stuff done that you're being told you must have done within such and such timeline. And then you've got these people over here griping because you got a box in the way and they can't go there and see what you're putting out, and because they do. Oh my God, I used to hate that. That was the worst part of set. But that was the worst part of doing a set. And when I say set, I mean, you know, setting Christmas or setting Easter or Valentine, whatever. But they would literally come over there where you're working, and you would have your boxes. Now, mind you, some stores don't care. But me, in my store, I always made sure my stuff was out of the way to where they could at least get a buggy through there, because if not, they will shove their buggy through like they're in a bulldozer, and they'll take boxes and everything with them, and they'll destroy it. And not all customers, but there are a lot of them that do, because they don't care. But they will come over there and literally ask you, what's in that box? I see the picture on the side of it. Can I go through it? And you're like, well, you know, you're trying to do a sit, because, look, even though in my head I wanted to say a whole lot of stuff to a whole lot of people, I never did. I always kept my tongue. I was always nice to the customers. I was, if they needed something, I was there. I was one of those that if they needed, I don't know, for example, if they needed some bleach, whatever, and if there wasn't any on the shelf, I'd go in the back in the stock room and I'd check and see if we had any back there for them. You know, because the way I looked at it was, if I can sell it and get it out of my stock room, that's one less case I got to put on the shelf. Because some people, well, with the tree, you know, they bulk buy, and they don't always bulk buy online. They'll come into your store. That way they can get it, you know, right then and there. So if I could sell somebody a case of something, shoot, You darn skippy I would. I'd go back there in that stock room and I'd dig that shit out. Sorry. But I would. I'd give it to him. And I had no problems with that. The problem I had was when I'm sitting up front on the floor trying to set something and they want to dig through them boxes. And they will, I've had them do it right smack in front of me. And I've had them, walk through, rubbernecking, going on through. And then as soon as you walk away, regardless of if you're going to give a cashier change or go to the bathroom or whatever, next thing you know, it's like they are just watching for you to leave. Because as soon as you do, they run over there and they open them boxes and they start digging through it. Whatever. If you want to buy some of it, I don't really mind that, but let me get it on the shelf. Or, depending on how you go about this, if you really are wanting something out of that box, nicely ask. Don't be like, can I go through that box? But anyway, I'll let you, as long as you're nice about it and not, overbearing and being a, wussa. So, I don't know. There's just some stuff. It's just like, just get out of my way. Let me get it done. And you can deal with it. Or you can come back and, look when I'm done. I actually, one time, I mean, it's happened several times, but one time in particular that I can think of, I had two seasonal gondolas up front. Gondola, that is just what we call the real long shelves. But anyway, I had two seasonal gondolas that I was setting for some, I don't even remember what I was putting on it. But it was like an aisle, but it was up front. So I had this side of a shelf and this side of a shelf. They were both empty. Absolutely not a single thing on them shelves. Period. I hadn't put the first thing out. And I had my U-boats loaded. Okay, U-boat is a great big long, it's like a rolling cart, okay, with sides on it. And you put, well, if you load them right, not a lot of people can, but you can put, depending on how big or how small your boxes are, you can get anywhere between 25 to, I've had actually 80 some odd cases on a U-boat. They're just great big huge rolling carts, and I had two of them fully loaded. So I had one, my seasonal gondolas were like this. They were just long shelves. So I had one U-boat here and one U-boat here, blocking off my aisles, which we're not allowed to do, but I did it anyway. But there was nothing on the shelves. There was nothing for anybody to buy. The shelves were totally empty. So, and we weren't busy. But I had my gondola set, or my U-boat set, to where you couldn't get through there. I would be completely left alone. And if I needed to come out, I just moved my cart and then set it back. Kind of like a little sliding door. But anyway, I had all my cases on my U-boat to where I knew what was on this U-boat. I knew what was on this U-boat. I knew that the stuff on this U-boat was going on this shelf. The stuff on this U-boat was going on this shelf. No big deal. Well, I had been about 30 minutes in setting this stuff on the shelf because, like I said, you have a book. The book has pictures. The book has a deadline. So you're sitting there trying to make your shelves look semi-sorta to the picture, because the picture is a guideline. It's not an exact. It's just a guideline, but it's your Bible, basically. You're going by it. So, anyway, I was sitting there, it was about 30 minutes into this, and I'm fast. I'm very fast because, for one, I've been doing this for years and years and years and years. And every holiday, basically, we set the same stuff in the same way. So I didn't even really need the book except for just to see what was, you know, coming out. So anyway, I had maybe a 4-foot section set, and I'm just working along. I think I'm done with this color. Pretty sure I am. Anyway, I'm just working along, and this lady with a small child comes pushing her buggy through, and she says, "What are you doing?" And I kind of looked up, and I'm like, "Excuse me?" Because, I didn't know what she was wanting. And she's like, "What are you putting out?" And I told her, I think it was like Memorial Day or 4th of July stuff. I don't remember what it was, but I know it was a holiday stuff. And she's like, "Well, I need to get in there." And I'm like, "But ma'am, like I said, I was being very nice. And I'm like, "Well, is there something on here that you see that you want that I've already put out?" She goes, "Well, I don't know what I want." She was, you could just feel the attitude already rippling off this lady. So I don't know if she had been having a bad day or if she was just and just wanted to make everybody else miserable. I don't know. But anyway, I said, "Well, right now I'm setting the shelves, and if there's anything that I already have out that you would like to see, that's fine." Well, she just takes my U-boat and jerks that sucker open, or, she's struggling with it because it's a fully loaded U-boat, but she starts tugging on it, and I said, "Ma'am," I said, "you're going to knock everything off my U-boat." And she just starts, oh my God. She just starts cussing me. She is so loud. The kid is just like crying. And because she just got massively loud to where, everybody in the store starts turning around and looking. I'm just getting red-faced because I'm trying to keep my cool. And I told her, I said, "Ma'am, I'll move my U-boat, and I will let you come in here in my little section and, look at whatever you want to look at." Because, like I said, it was just a little 4-foot section I had put up there, and the stuff was big. So it's not like I had tons and tons of stuff already out. It was just, she was just being So she's just like absolutely just loud. And I'm telling you, she was calling me every name in the book. I had this man, and this is why this is so memorable to me, is because it made me so mad I couldn't even see straight. I had this man, this little old man. Hold on. Sorry. Okay, anyway, I had this little old man who came to my rescue, and he told the lady, he was a very, very sweet little old man. I'd never seen him before. He was, I guess, a new customer. But he come walking over there, and he says, "Ma'am," he said, "maybe if you let her finish putting everything out, maybe you could come back tomorrow and see what she has put out." Oh my God. Let me tell you something. That lady's head flipped around like she was in The Exorcist, and she started going off on this little old man. This man had to have been in his 70s, okay? That made me mad. But what just absolutely just, oh, I could have snatched this lady up. Like I said, I try not to be mean, and I try not to be rude, and I try to keep my composure, but this one here, nope, couldn't do it. This man had a hat on that he was a veteran, and this bitch turns around and looks at him and starts cussing him, talking about him being a baby killer, and just going on and on at this little old man, just because he asked her to be quiet and to just, give me a few minutes to get my stuff out. Let me tell you something. I turned around on that lady, and by this time, the whole store, it was during the day, during a weekday. There wasn't a whole lot of people in there, but they were all older people. But this woman, when she said that to this man, I flipped out. I told her to get her, you-know-what, out of my store. I was fixing to call the law on her. Now, mind you, all the years that I've worked there, I've never called the law on nobody. I am not a law caller. But I told this woman, I said, I am fixing to call the police department. They're right over there across the parking lot. I know quite a few of them by name because they're my customers. And you best get up out of my store. Don't you come back here. I don't give a rip. You can go across town to do your shopping. Don't you ever come back in my store. Oh, and that was nice because like I said, I'm on a video and I don't know who's watching this, and I'm not going to say everything I said, but I let it rip on this lady and I didn't even care. I did not even care. So after a lot of choice words from this woman, she decides she's not leaving. She's going to go over here and do her shopping anyway. And I just looked at the little old man. I apologized to him, and he told me, he said, let it go. It ain't even worth it. We'll just pray for her. And, and of course, she heard him say that. Of course, here she goes, going off again. So I picked my phone up, and I told her, I said, you got about 5 seconds to get up out of my store before I start dialing. Well, when I did that, she did leave. But I was mad as hell that day. And for the whole rest of the day, I was mad because I just sit there. I just start thinking about that. And that just, oh my God, that just made me so mad. I'm irritated now just thinking about it. And that was like 2 or 3 years ago. But anyway, I apologized to that man. And other customers was coming up and telling him that he did the right thing by standing up for me, and that, they appreciated his service, and, just all kinds of stuff. And I had other customers that were like, I was going to give her about 5 more seconds, and I was going to call the law, and, that just made me mad. I'll have to say that was probably in the top 5 of the worst customer, whatever you want to call it, that has happened between me and a customer. But yeah, some people, they just don't even care. But I've had such good things happen too. I don't know, I can't think of a whole lot. Like I said, I had all kinds of ideas in my head the other day and was jotting some of them down, and now I can't remember nothing once I start talking. I had people, see us working, like especially my regular customers that come in there. I had this one little old couple. They come in there every single day. They wouldn't buy much, but they come in every single day. It was like their little routine, and it was a married couple, and they were just the sweetest little couple. Um, but they come in every day. They'd buy something, but might have been $5 worth of stuff, but they'd always buy something every day. And I think they just came in, like I said, that they just had them a little routine that they did every day, and but they were just the sweetest little couple. I had quite a few customers that were regular customers, knew them by name, they knew me by name, and they would come in, and if I wasn't there, they'd want to know where I was at, because, look, I was always there, and if I wasn't there, they was worried. So that was, that was special. And like I said, when I left and then moved back here, that was kind of hard leaving my customers, because, after a while, they become family, especially if, they come in every single day, or at least every week. And I had a big old plant company right down the road, and we'd always get their people would come in, I guess, when they was on lunch or whatever, and they come in and get their little snacks. Like I said, the police department was right there in the little courthouse. So on their breaks, the cops would come over and get their candy, and it was always funny watching the customers when the cops came in, because they'd always turn around and look like, oh my God, what's going on? Then they'd see, they're just going over there to the candy department and getting them some candy. But yeah, I miss my customers. Let's see. What else? Let me look at my notes. Let's see. Oh my God. The stuff people wore. Okay. So, yes, I have had people come into my store for interviews in their pajamas. I think I mentioned in the other WIP and Chat that my store was right down the road from a little water park. It wasn't a pool or nothing. It was just, one of those great big slabs of concrete that had those different little pipes and stuff that spray water, just a little water park. And they would go down there. Well, they'd come to my store, get their little snacks and drinks and stuff to take to the water park, or they'd be at the water park and then they'd come to my store to get their little snacks and stuff. But anyway, they would come up in there with their bathing suits on. I hated the summertime. When they opened that sucker up, it's like when it started getting cold outside and people had to start wearing clothes, I was so happy. Because not only did they wear their bathing suits and crap, but let me tell you something. We're talking, I don't know how else to put it, but when they come up to pay for their stuff, they had bathing suits on. Where do you think they had their money? Yep, boob money. Talk about gross. How many times somebody handed me money out of their darn bra or out of their bathing suit top? It got to a point I'd make them lay it down. I wouldn't even touch it. I would not even touch the money. I would tell them, lay it on the counter. And if it was something I had to give them change back for, I would take my ink pen, this is no lie, and I would take it and I would just pull it over to the side to where, couldn't nobody get it or nothing. I'd set that over to the side and I'd give them their change. I did not put that in my drawer. Not right then. But I would take hand sanitizer, because we kept hand sanitizer at our registers. But I would take the hand sanitizer and I'd put a big glob on my hand, rub my hands together, and then flick it onto the money or rub the money or, something. And then I would stick that money under my drawer. I didn't care, did not care. No. And there was one time that I don't know, I guess I was having a day, but this lady come in and she pulled her money out of her bra. And I don't know why, but I went and I grabbed it and it was wet and I threw that sucker down on my counter and I just looked at her and went, "Really? Really? You ain't got something else? Have you got a card?" Anyway, but you can't refuse the money. But, oh my God, that was so nasty, and it made me so mad I couldn't see straight. I even took and squirted hand sanitizer on my hands right smack in front of her, because most of the time I try to, be subtle about that kind of stuff, but it made me so mad. I did. I took a hand sanitizer, and I just started squirting it in my hand. And I just looked at her and was like, "Really?" And you can just imagine my facial expression. And I was just like, wow, But they don't care. I've had people pull out money out of their socks. I've had a guy one time pull it out of his crotch. That one I did refuse. I told him I wasn't taking his money. "Oh, yeah, you will." "Oh, no, I ain't." "You gonna pull it out of a wallet? That's fine. But I'm not taking your money when you pulling it out of your britches like that. Nope. Forget it." That one I did refuse. And, I didn't get in trouble or nothing for that. But I've had some crazy, crazy crap happen. Let's see. What else? Oh, well, anyway, back to what people wear. Yeah, look, I'm not saying you gotta be, dolled up to go to town, but at least wear something decent. And I don't even have a problem with wearing pajama pants if you just making a quick trip to, the Dollar General or whatever. I don't have a problem with that, as long as they're decent. But yeah, don't go to a job interview just because your appointment or your interview time is, 10 o'clock in the morning, and I guess you think you just roll up out of bed and go to your interview. Yep. Because I'm going to hire you when you can't even put clothes on, and obviously you're not a morning person, so why would I want you coming and opening for me? So, anyway, yeah, I was a little picky when it came to hiring. I'm looking, I've got a glare over here on this side, but I think that's all of this one. Pretty sure. Yep. Let's see. Oh, we had this guy. He had to have been at least 6'4", 6'5", tall dude. Not bad looking. But look at here. He had to have been making rounds, okay, because it got to a point, because of what he would wear, it got to a point to where, like, I received a picture from another employee at another store of this dude. And then I seen him because he come in my store. And I was like, oh my God, that's that guy. So I took a picture. And normally I don't do that because, I mean, that's, rude. But this guy had become so well known through several of our stores that we had started talking about, hey, there's this dude in here the other day that had this on. And then I'd be like, oh my God, I seen him too. He was at my store. And then I'd talk to another store manager at another store, and they were like, I seen him too. So we started taking pictures of him. And say what you want to, I don't care. You got to make this fun. But we started taking pictures of him, and we'd send them to each other anytime he was in the store. But dude, okay, this may be a little sensitive, but dude would wear biker shorts, okay? Which are what kind of material is that made out of? Not latex, but I don't know what that material is, but you can see everything through this material. Back in my day, we called them biker shorts. I don't know what they're called now. Kind of like the yoga pants material. Okay. Dude wore these all the time. He had pink and white ones. He had red and black ones. He had every color you could think of. And then he would wear these netted shirts. I mean, because there for a while, I thought he rode a bike. No, he drove a car. This is just, I guess this was his, I don't know. Maybe he went and worked out beforehand. I don't know. But he would come in the store wearing this stuff. And one time he even came in a pair of Speedos. Oh my God. But the thing of it was this dude was packing. Okay? This dude, there was no shame in his game. Okay? And everybody could see everything. So it got to a point where we were all, and he would come in every week. There for a while, it was every week. And it would get to a point to where all of the store managers were like, did you see him? Did you see, what did he have on today? But it was hilarious. But what would kill me was when he'd come in my store looking like that. We got kids in the store. I mean, dude might as well just been naked. Okay? So, picture this in your mind. So, yeah. Anyway. But yeah, some people, they just didn't care what they wore out in public. I had this one lady that came in, and, I never had an issue. I'm an animal lover, so I never had issues with people coming in with their pets. I've had, dogs in my store. I've had cats in my store. I've had, I've had a pot-bellied pig in my store. I've had snakes in my store. I've had pet rats in my store. I've had these two kids one time came in the store, and they had those little, they look like squirrels, but they're not squirrels. What are them things called? I don't think they're chinchillas, but anyway, they, like bounce from each other. Anyway, they're the cutest little things. But I also had this woman that had a bird, and how that thing did not fly off, I don't know. She had it trained very well. But she would come in, and it was like I don't think it was a parrot, but it was like I guess a cockatoo. I don't know. But it would screech and scream when she was in the store. It would talk. But what was funny was nobody liked checking her out. not because of the bird, but because she stunk. And she always had bird poop all over her shirt. So, she'd walk around with cockatoo poo all over, I guess. Like I said, I don't know if it was a cockatoo or not, but yeah. She would come in, not often, but yeah, nobody liked checking her out because, I don't know, it was gross. But, and we've had stinky people. Literally, as soon as they walk in the store, everybody be like, what the heck is that smell? But we had our stinky people. I had a Mexican restaurant right next door to me. So Friday and Saturday nights especially, because they do karaoke and stuff over there, and we didn't close until 10 o'clock. Excuse me, let me get me a drink. Okay, so we didn't close till 10 at night, and they closed at 10 during the week, I think. And I think on weekends they didn't close till about 11, 12, I don't remember. But anyway, we get the drunks. They would go over and eat, and they'd want to, I guess, come over in the store and shop. But we'd get the drunks, have to deal with them. Just crazy, crazy stuff that I have seen. I mean, I could not even sit here and remember everything and, tell y'all everything about that. We had fun, though. God, we had fun. And that was one thing I always made sure of. My store, you didn't come in and work. I mean, yes, you worked, but we had fun. Because, I mean, I don't want to go into somebody or into a store and work and, we're working, just getting through my shift. No, I wanted to have fun to where, you get there, you clock in, next thing you know, it's time to go. Because you have been laughing and doing your job. As long as everything got done, I didn't care how it got done, as long as it got done. And, you were safe, orderly, and respectful. As long as it got done, have fun doing it. Because if not, you're not gonna do it, and you're not gonna do it well. So, we always had fun. But we would sit and not really, I don't want to say make fun of customers, because we didn't make fun of them. Well, some. I ain't gonna lie. Some we did. But we never did it to their face, and we never did it to where they knew. So, but what I'm saying about making fun of the customers is, you get a lot of people in there on their phones, having phone conversations. But they would have, like say me and my assistant, Brandy, that was her name. She was my full-time assistant, and she was, like I said, my right hand. We did everything together. So, if we were working on an aisle, and there was some people, because it was notorious for women to be in there on their phones. Men too, but the women were, I guess because we had more women shoppers. Well, I don't know, anyway. But the women would be on their phones, having conversations an aisle over, and they're so loud. Because let me tell y'all something. You're sitting there talking on the phone, you don't think nobody's listening. Yes, they are. Because you can't help but to listen, especially if you're loud. But we don't care that your sister's husband's brother is in jail because he got pulled over and had a warrant, blah, 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 blah. We heard this stuff. We heard this stuff. Or, you know, Aunt Martha's birthday is coming up and I don't know, but I don't want Sister Lou there and blah, blah. Everybody in the store hears your conversations, especially if you have it on speakerphone. Then you can hear both sides of the conversation. But what I would do, because, you know, sometimes you just get bored putting out freight. But if somebody was on an aisle over and they were having a conversation on the phone, I would sit there and mimic them and like do my head and do my face, you know, expressions and my body expressions, and they'd be sitting over talking about, well, I don't know who said this, but if I find out blah, 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 and I'd be over here looking at Brandy, and I'd be, you know, doing my hands and all this like I was the one saying the conversation. She'd be over busting a gut, trying to not be so loud laughing. But, I mean, I'm telling y'all, you don't think people's listening to your conversations, you're crazy, because they do. And I think sometimes, I don't know if it's that the person having the phone conversation doesn't realize how loud they're talking, don't care how loud they're talking. I don't know, but, you know, there's always somebody listening. I've even took to some of my regular customers, I would be like on an aisle doing my thing. They'd be over on an aisle over talking about, you know, whatever. And then I would hear them, well, I know they had it on the shelf yesterday. Well, I don't know why they're out of it, blah, blah, blah. I'd walk around to the side of the counter and I'd be like, hey, you know, whatever their name was or whatever, I'd be like, what is it you're looking for? And they'd be like, oh, did you hear me? I was like, yeah, it's just an aisle over. And, you know, they'd tell me what they were looking for, and I'd either, you know, go look in the back and get it for them, or, you know, tell them, you know, I'd hold it when I got my truck, you know, whatever. But, yeah, phone conversations, just everybody needs to be leery of, you know, who's listening, because people do listen. So, anyway, I know this was a short WIP and chat, but I think I'm going to stop right here, and I still have a few notes, you know, truck drivers, rude, nasty customers, you know, different things like that I still want to tell you a couple stories about. So I'm going to stop right here and let everybody get on with their day, and I hope you enjoyed this little WIP and chat, and if so, give me a thumbs up. If you have any suggestions or comments, just leave them in the comment section. And if you're new here, please subscribe. And if you are a subscriber, thanks for listening. And until my next video, I will see y'all later. Bye, y'all.